And now, stay tuned for the mystery program that is unique among all mystery programs. Because even when you know who's guilty, you always receive a startling surprise at the final curtain.
Republic of Avalon Radio. You're with the roar!
Hi, this is Nancy from Victoria, BC, here in Canada. I just wanted to call and say that I love your show, and just wanted to say keep up the good work.
Hi, Jim and Lily. This is Bea from Maryland. I wanted to call to let you know that I liked the last episode so much that I've listened to it at least 4 times. So, have a great day. Bye.
Hello, Jim, and hello, Lillian. This is Jay Wilson in Los Angeles, California, and I listen to The Roar. Jim, I got your email today the same day I got my copy of Midnight Rover, and I'm delighted to receive it. And man, I tell you, you have such a beautifully recorded podcast when you were standing on the street and the motorcycles were going by a couple episodes ago. They were truly going left to right and right to left, and I was swinging on my hammock in the backyard here, and it was in the evening, and it was almost in rhythm to the swing of the hammock, which I would just marvel at. It really sounds great. So all the best to you and Lillian. And I might say that my amateur radio hobby, I was first licensed in 1969, led to my career in broadcasting as well, starting in radio and now in television. I'm an editor at KTLA Television in Los Angeles. Anyway, I enjoy it very much. I enjoy listening to the show. All the best to you and to Lillian up there, and lovely to come. I look forward to the next episode. Bye-bye.
Hey, Jim, this is Ann in Philadelphia on the Roar line. I wanted to tell you that Willow Green did the best version of Rhythm Monika in the world, I think. Absolutely a fantastic bang-up job, and I truly enjoyed it. And I also wanted to thank Lillian for reading Helen's post, because it was just very touching, the way it was read and the way it had the song playing in the background. And maybe I'm not the only one, but I'm going to stick my neck out here. I didn't get the joke. Somebody want to explain it to me? Thank you. Bye.
Sono lieto di poter rievocare in poche parole le esperienze delle prime trasmissioni radiotelegrafiche a grandi distanze da me felicemente eseguite attraverso l'Oceano Atlantico il 12 dicembre 1901.
Holy snapping bra straps. It's a podcast.
Republic of Avalon Radio. It's 0 hours, Avalon Standard Time.
Hello to you all out there, all over the world. This is your old friend, Eddie Mailbag, sitting in for Jim and Lillian. This week, I'm very proud to present to you a very special edition of The Roar. This is episode 26, so that means we've seen 25 episodes come and go. Oh, what sweet sorrow. We had lots of fun, went lots of places, heard lots of great music, and met some wonderful people. Of course, we can't fit it all in, but we figured we'd put together a kind of year in review for your listening pleasure. Or should we call it a Roar in Review? Well, in any case, here it is. We hope you enjoy this little look back over the last 25 shows with us. So, put on those headphones, kick back, and enjoy. You are listening to Republic of Avalon Radio.
we were thinking about, we're always busy talking to everybody in the present all the time, and quite often dwelling on the past while we're doing that. So let's dedicate this episode to all you people in the future. This episode is dedicated to all you in the future. Now, you folks in the present are more than welcome to listen. But this roars for you if you're in the future. And in fact, if you're feeling kind of bad about it, maybe just hit the pause button, you people in the present. Hit the pause button and count to 10. And then press play again. And you'll be in the future too, I suppose, after a fashion. Yeah, I think those people in the future are highly underestimated. We never listen to them. Every now and again we look to them for a bit of advice, about, I suppose, social issues, political issues, the environment, all kinds of things. And they tell us all kinds of handy information, and we just ignore them all the time. So based on that, I thought it would be only fair and reasonable to dedicate an episode of The Roar to the people in the future. And in fact, if you're listening to this in the future, this is, as Lillian mentioned, September 28th, 2005. If you're listening in the future... We're just squeezing through, what was that, a sausage dog stand?
But no matter who's listening to it, it's going to be the present for them.
But they'd be in the future.
In our future.
No, and they'd be in the future.
In the future.
Yes, we're in the present. We're not just in our present. You see, I'm making a point here about linear time. That if we say that there's some sort of linear time, a past, a present, and a future, then supposedly there are future people, past people, and present people. Somehow, however that works. So we would like to appeal to you people in the future to drop over to republicofavallonradio.com and click on the PayPal button because money's not worth nearly as much as it used to be back here in our time. So it would really be appreciated,
We might have something funkier than a PayPal button.
Oh, you never know.
It could be called something completely different now.
It could.
If you're listening from the future, that is.
Yep, you might have your chip.
Maybe all you have to do is think about it.
Yeah.
And it will appear.
Don't just think about it. Do it. Okay, so we're fixing to get ready here.
You're all here. Make a noise, everybody. If that's not the sound of 1,000 angels, I don't know what is. Okay, we're gonna start playing. Please play in G. She's waving to me.
No, if you guys I think she's looking for you. Maybe. See.
No, she knows. Oh, there she is.
Spend a lot of time at working out these harmonies. We don't want to.
Okay.
I'm not. going to start counting everybody in now. T-minus 10. Okay.
Everybody stop. Here we go. You want to count us in, Dave?
Okay.
This is it.
1, 2, 3, 4. Second part now.
has just broken the most people playing a tune on the accordion for the Guinness Book of World Records. Woo!
That's it.
Thank
Did
you.
it. So, at least 1,000 accordion players can say that they had a gig today. That's another record.
Everybody go for a beer now.
That's the end of my musical
Ladies
career,
and gentlemen,
Jim.
you're now part of Guinness
Great to
Book
play
of
with you.
World History. Thanks each and every one of you for coming out. No more accordion jokes. Now what we're going to do now is we're all going to get something to eat, and then we're all going to come back for tonight for the party to celebrate 1,000 people coming out with their accordions here in Newfoundland in a month and a half.
Hello there. I am Lindsay Ferguson from Wakefield, Quebec, and you are listening to Roar, Republic of Avalon Radio.
You may not find us on your TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you by RADIO.
Holy snapping bra straps.
It's a podcast.
So let's just carry on. Look forward to hearing from you guys at the email. There's the website, and there's the Roar line. Why not just give us a shout, 1-724-426-8176, and just say hi. And with no further ado, let's jump into the van and head downtown as my phone is ringing. Hello. Hey. I'm doing fine. I'm just podcasting here now. Yes, I hope I am. They want me to do a nude photo with a whistle. Okay. I see. That's very interesting. I'll have to consider that. I don't know if I'd want to thrust that upon the world. All right, here's a little segment for you. I'm with my good friend Graham Dillabough, and we are just heading out of the house here. He owns an auto, which is called a Lotus?
Super 7, 1969.
Okay.
I'm going to take Jim out and put the fear of God in him.
That's already there, actually. Okay. So we're going to... it's Lotus land for Republic of Avalon Radio. So this is a wee little thing. My dad was in it last summer, and I think that was about maximum capacity.
Oh, yeah. It's under 3 feet tall. Matter of fact, it's about 2'6" to the top of the windshield, I think.
So how would it compare, say, with a smart car?
Smart cars are taller, but probably about the same weight.
Okay.
Weighs about 1,100 pounds.
This is quite the thing to get into. You've got all kinds of...
No, you don't get into it. You put it on.
You put it on. Yes, that's a way of putting it.
Okay.
And I get in, of course, on the left side, which in North America would be considered the driver's seat. So beware, St. John's, Jim Fiddler is in the driver's seat. And I'm putting my feet right down.
Okay, now that's
and then
part of the seat belt.
We've got cables here.
Seat belts are set for my little daughter.
Wait, now it's all twisted up too.
Oh, is it? Okay, hang on.
Untwisting. There we go. Hopefully we won't end up with all kinds of wind noise. We've got the windscreen is there. It doesn't always have to be. You can take that off. And we're open. We're entirely wide open to the outside. It's a convertible.
Stars overhead.
With a soft top. Stars overhead. And he's just saddling up. Strapping himself in.
You think it takes a long time getting in with the top off, you ought to see... You need to be a contortionist to get in when the roof is on. Anyway, here we go.
Off we go.
Oh, there's the fuel pumps. Don't know if you heard that.
Okay, so it looks like we're pretty much off to the races. Now, where are we going to go?
Oh, we'll go down...
downtown.
Yeah, we'll go downtown, then cruise back.
Okay, sounds good. So...
I don't know how much wind noise you're gonna get, so you might have to hold the mic towards the center of the car.
I'm monitoring with the headphones, so we should be good to go. And we are now speeding down the street. And there's a bit of wind. I'm just going to lean forward a little bit. Okay. So probably what I'll do is I'll just put the mic right here and lean forward and kind of raise my voice, but it's doing a pretty good job of, the windscreen is doing the job of keeping the wind away from the mic. I can lean in whenever we're at times like this. Now we're taking a left turn. Woohoo!
A lady goes to her parish priest one day and tells him, "Father, I have a very embarrassing problem." "What's that, my child?" inquired the priest. "I have 2 female parakeets, but they only know how to say one thing." "Well, what do they say?" asked the priest. "They say, 'Hi, we're prostitutes. Do you want to have some fun?'" "Holy Mother of God!" exclaimed the priest. "That's obscene." "I can see why you are embarrassed." The priest then paused for a quiet moment of thought and said, "You know, I may have the solution to your problem. I have 2 male parakeets whom I have taught to pray and read the Bible. Bring your 2 parakeets over to my house and we will put them in the cage together. My parakeets can teach your parakeets to praise and worship. I'm sure they will stop saying that phrase in no time." "Bless you, Father," the woman replied. "This might very well be the solution." The next day, she brought her female parakeets to the priest's house. As he let her in, she noticed that his 2 male parakeets were inside their cage, holding their rosary beads and praying. Impressed, she walked over and placed her 2 parakeets into the cage. After just a couple of seconds, the female birds announced in unison, "Hi, we're prostitutes. Do you want to have some fun?" There was a stunned silence. Finally, one of the male parakeets leaned over to the other and said, "Francis, put the beads away. Our prayers have been answered."
Joke of the week, joke of the week. Everybody gotta love the joke of the week.
Yeah. You're listening to Republic of Avalon Radio. I'm Angela Antle, host of the Weekend Arts Magazine on CBC Radio. Now let's just go into your site, your Republic of Avalon Radio.
Okay.
Roar.
Yep. Yep.
I want to hear it.
Alrighty. Let me grab my keyboard here. Now, we're doing something, this is not podcasting, because what we're doing is we're listening to a stream on the website. I've put 2 stream links up there for, there's an MP3 stream and a Windows Media stream. Now, that's completely contrary to the concept of podcasting, because you have to go to republicofavalonradio.com and click on the stream link to hear the stream. Well, that's just there for convenience, and maybe some people need a little bit of time to kind of wrap their head around downloading and installing the podcatching software. So it's just out of consideration for them. There's the stream there. Let's see, where are we here?
Holy snapping bra straps. It's a podcast.
Coming to you almost live from the heart of the Republic, this is Republic of Avalon Radio. Republic of Avalon Radio. It's 0 hours Avalon Standard Time.
So we have, by advent of the Republic of Avalon, we have our own time zone finally. And if I had to vote, I would say, if you just look around at the time zones and the way they're divided up, we're actually supposed to be in the same time zone as St. Pierre. I always find it funny when people, you hear all these myths, like people have pictures of Marconi up at Cabot Tower receiving the S, the first transatlantic wireless message. Well, he was actually over at the hospital. He wasn't up there. But the myth of the time zone, everyone says that we're ringing in the New Year for North America. No. They had done it every time in Newfoundland when we're ringing in the New Year. St. Pierre, which is part of North America and is actually west of here, has already done it a half hour previously.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So there's a certain sort of nostalgia sound, retro sound to Roar. What I've heard of Roar, anyway. This is
it's radio. I was always a radio buff. I always loved the. This is sort of radio geeky talk, but a couple of companies, one called Pam's and the other one called Sam, I think, did all these jingles in the 50s, 60s, and 70s for all the big AM stations and later for the FM stations. So, yeah.
Like that one.
Well, let's listen to the jingle. Here's the jingle.
Republic of Avalon Radio. You're with the Lord!
But so. But it's really in and out because, the show is a real mishmash. We go down to the pub with the mini disc, and depending on who's playing, if they're singing a traditional song, which is in the public domain, and they don't mind, we'll record them singing a song and maybe have a chat with them after the gig.
Which brings me to a question about, you ask for donations so that you can avoid, I guess, commercializing Republic of Avalon Radio.
Yeah.
But do you pay the musicians who you feature?
What are you paying me for this interview?
I'm not paying you any for this interview, but I'm publicizing your site.
Exactly, and that's what we're doing. That's what the idea is. It's I could just play my own music all the time. I've got enough there to keep me going for a couple of years. Mm-hmm. But I would also like to help promote other musicians and poets or novelists, for that matter, who are interested in just sitting down, having a chat, or sharing a bit of music or whatever. It's a venue for them, really. So, if I had to start paying for content, that's crazy. That's totally not open source.
This is really like the first day of summer for us.
Yeah. It was, I don't know, probably about the 80s. I actually saw 29.2 Celsius at one point. And tomorrow they're forecasting 28.
Oh wow!
So if they're fessing up to 28,
oh my gosh!
I'd say up where we live in the West End of St. John's, it's always warmer than what they report on the weather. So I think we're in for a roaster tomorrow.
Wow!
Did you close the back door and stuff?
I did.
Oh, good.
Not a good time to. Can't remember that now. So we're on our way to a meeting.
We're going to Brody Malloy's. We're having the CD launch next Thursday night. And this is, as we walk along now, it's about, 7:30, 7:45? Mm-hmm. On Thursday evening, the 2nd of June?
2nd of June.
2005.
And we have a lot happening this month. We've got, first of all, Jim's birthday on Monday, and then
the big 4-0.
The Thursday coming up, we have Jim's CD launching Midnight Rover.
Double yay.
Yay! And then in 2 weeks after that, we have a festival happening downtown called the International Atlantic Crossroads Festival.
Yes.
And this is the first year for it. We're starting off very small, but we have 7 artists coming over from Ireland.
The Irish are coming, the Irish are coming.
That's right, 7 singer-songwriters from Ireland will be joining myself, Jim Fiddler, Ron Hines, Pamela Morgan, Colleen Power, Darrell Power and Hugh Scott for this year's first annual International Atlantic Crossroads Festival being held June 24th through the 28th in downtown St. John's, with our blowout closing gala at the Arts and Culture Centre on the night of Thursday, June the 30th, on the eve of Canada Day. Tickets now available at the Arts and Culture Centre box office. For more information, go to www.atlanticfest.com. I did it!
Call me down. All the shooting stars are falling to the ragged ground, and the singing moon is wearing now a ragged crown, 'cause the city is the palace of a paper clown, a paper clown.
But somehow when the Irish and the Newfoundlanders get together, there's a kind of a natural blending, a magic that I find very, very overwhelming, very, very compelling. Something I can't resist. I find it irresistible, you know.
How quickly you turned your back in the end. You were just playing, but when you find your peace at last, and your troubles are all past, and your friends are all true, find me close to you. My bed is made in the gutter, but I won't lie down. My bed is made in the gutter, but I won't lie down. I can't stay here forever. I gotta get myself together. Pick me up, you gotta turn my luck around.
Well, in the town of St. John's, that's where I chanced to dwell. One night when I was playing in a pub you all know well, I met a girl from Carbonear who said she liked to dance, and if I knew just what to do, then maybe I'd have a chance.
In the summer we'll go walking way down to the river, down the Curragh Road. There's a blue sky we'll walk under, listen to the humming bees, and on we'll go.
There's a million reasons for singing out and shouting out new sounds of revolution. Finding your own way, like the highways of happiness, littered with golden arches. Julie wants to see, but I don't have the energy to wake up. My old enemy is waiting in the mirror to start up. I wonder if I'll ever have the life in me to get out of bed. The problem is I don't care anymore.
Well, one fine day in the month of June, she's a downtown girl, she's a downtown girl. I figured that I'd write me a silly little tune. She's a downtown girl for sure. And she likes waking up with her hair messed up. She's a downtown girl, she's a get-around girl. She likes waking up with her hair messed up. She's a downtown girl for sure. Well, I took her to the tavern for to have a pint of beer. She's a downtown girl, she's a get-around. She was dancing and flirting with everybody there. She's a downtown girl for sure. And she likes waking up with her hair messed up. She's a downtown girl, she's a get-around girl. She likes waking up with her hair messed up. She's a downtown girl for sure. Then we went to the regatta for to see the goings on. She's a downtown girl, she's a get-around girl. I looked the other way when I looked back she was gone. She's a downtown girl for sure. And she likes waking up with her hair messed up. She's a downtown girl, she's a get-around girl. She likes waking up with her hair messed up. She's a downtown girl for sure. Then I went to her house to meet her mother and her father. She's a downtown girl, she's a get-around. When I got to the door, they confused me with another and another and another and another. She's a downtown girl for sure. And she likes waking up with her hair messed up. She's a downtown girl, she's a get-around girl. She likes waking up with her hair messed up. She's a downtown girl for sure. So if you ever go out for to have a pint of beer, she's a downtown girl, she's a get-around. And you see her coming toward you, then you better steer clear. She's a downtown girl for sure. And she likes waking up with her hair messed up. She's a downtown girl, she's a get-around girl. She likes waking up with her hair messed up. She's a downtown girl for sure. Yeah, she likes waking up with her hair messed up. She's a downtown girl, she's a get-around girl. She likes waking up with her hair messed up. She's a downtown girl for sure.
I think the whole show went. The weekend was a really nice event for everybody. I think it's going to go down in history like the first five is the police show at the Horseshoe.
Wow.
Eventually, everyone's going to say, "Oh yeah, I was at the first show."
Yeah.
I was at the first Atlantic Crossroads Festival.
Republic of Avalon Radio. You're with the roar!
All right, here we are now with Darrah from Dublin, originally from Dublin. And you're living where now?
I'm living in Meath. Yes, County Meath.
Okay. And the town?
Meath.
And the town again?
No, about 20 miles outside Dublin.
Okay. Not far from the airport?
Not far from the airport. A few miles, yeah.
Okay.
Good to be here in St. John's, enjoying my time in St. John's. Very nice to meet you, Mr. Fiddler.
We've been having a great old chat, Lillian and myself,
chat, yes.
and Darrah having a great chat. And Darrah's heading. When are you heading back again?
I'm heading back on the weekend, but I'm taking my time going home. I'm enjoying my time in St. John's, enjoying the music and the culture that Newfoundland has to offer an Irish visitor. Well, has to offer every visitor, really. It's a great place to be, I must say. It's a very warm and friendly place. I'm really enjoying it here.
That's fantastic. We have all kinds of people from all kinds of places all the time
You
here,
sure do.
and it's amazing since we started doing this show and just listening back over the episodes. We noticed, like, gee whiz, what are we doing? Like hanging out in an international airport somewhere in America or whatever, and we're not.
Yeah.
All we're doing is just
coming down to your local town.
Yes, and we're not even going out of our way. We're just going where we go and doing what we do.
No, I must say that St. John's has a really vibrant live music scene. It's got a very vibrant cultural activities here. I mean, there's all sorts of strange things going on. Who would believe that people would fly halfway across Canada, fly into St. John's just to tell a story, you know? That's pretty cool, isn't it?
It happens.
It happens in it happens in Newfoundland. It's pretty cool. And I must say, I'm really enjoying St. John's, and it's one of the warmest places I've ever been. It's great, though it's pretty cool. It's damp and it's wet and horrible. But
I was saying to Darrah earlier. I said, "Geez, what's with the Irish weather?"
Yes, well, yeah. Well, funny enough, you should say that. We have very mild weather at home at the moment, and I know you've had particularly.
Well, geez, yesterday it was like 18 degrees.
I know, it was beautiful. You had very mild weather here, but it's taken a turn for the worse, so I'm heading home as soon as possible. I've called my travel agent. I've changed my travel plans. I'm going home.
Gather up your kit in the old kit bag.
Listen, it's lovely to meet you. Lovely to meet you.
Same here, and all the best to you. And
thank you.
Send us some sort of a hello.
I'll send you an email and check out your website. I'm going down to Fred's tomorrow and buy all your records.
Fantastic. But when you get back home now, you have to, for the listeners, you have to touch base with them.
Will do. Yeah. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi folks, this is Eric Bogle from Australia via Scotland, and you're listening to Republic of Avalon Radio. It helps if you're stoned, but it doesn't matter if you're not.
Now when I was a young man, I carried me pack, and I lived the free life on the road. From the Murray's green basin to the dusty outback, oh, I waltzed my Matilda all over. Then in 1915, my country said, son, it's time you stop rambling, there's work to be done. So they gave me a tin hat, they gave me a gun, and they marched me away to the war. And the band played waltzing Matilda as the ship pulled away from the quay, and amidst all the cheers of flag waving and tears, we sailed up for Gallipoli. How well I remember that terrible day, how our blood stained the sand and the water, and how in that hell that they called Sulaco, We were butchered like lambs at the slaughter. Johnny Turk, he was waiting. He primed himself well. He showered us with bullets, and he rained us with shell. And in 5 minutes flat, he'd blown us all to hell. Nearly blew us right back to Australia. But the band played Waltzing Matilda when we stopped to bury our slain. We buried ours, the Turks buried theirs, then we started all over again. And those that were left, we tried to survive in that mad world of blood, death and fire. And for 10 weeks I kept myself alive. Around me the corpses piled higher. Then a big Turkish shell knocked me off so overhead. And when I woke up in the hospital bed and saw what it had done, oh, I wished I was dead. Never knew there was worse things than dying. For I'll go no more waltzing Matilda all around the green bush far and free, to hunt and to pace. A man needs both legs. No more waltzing Matilda for me. So they gathered the crippled, the wounded, the maimed. They shipped us back home to Australia. The armless, the legless, the blind, the insane, those proud wounded heroes of Sula. And as our ship sailed into Circular Quay, I looked at the place where me legs used to be, and thank Christ there was nobody waiting for me to grieve, to mourn, and to pity. But the band played Waltzing Matilda as they carried us down the gangway. But nobody cheered. They just stood and stared. Then they turned their faces away. And so now, every April, I sit on the porch and I watch the parade pass before me. I see my old comrades, how proudly they march, reviving old dreams and past glory. The old men march slowly, all bones stiff and sore, the tired old heroes from the forgotten war. And the young people ask, what are they marching for? before, and I ask myself the same question. But the band plays waltzing Matilda. The old men still answer the call. But as year follows year, more old men disappear. Someday no one will march there at all. Waltzing Matilda, waltzing Matilda, who'll come a waltzing Matilda with me? The ghosts may be heard as they march by that boulevard. Who'll come a waltzing Matilda with me?
Hi folks, John Monro here from the Eric Bogle Band and from Colcannon from Australia via Scotland. You're listening to Republic of Avalon Radio, and so you should be.
Hi folks, my name is Barb and Toniak. I'm from Winnapeg, Manitoba, Canada, and I'm here in St. John's, Newfoundland, and you're listening to Republic of Avalon Radio.
This is Monika from Austria. I'm living in Newfoundland, by the way, and I like it here. It's the most wonderful country in the world, I think, and I traveled around everywhere. You are listening to the Republic Avalon Radio.
Hi, this is Mike Busboom from Vienna, Austria, just letting all of you know that you are with the Roar.
Hi, this is Nancy from Victoria, BC, here in Canada.
Hi, this is Pamela Morgan.
Hi, Jim and Lillian. It's Rick Cave calling. I'm calling from the oil tanker Heather Nathan. We're currently offshore in Algeria, Africa.
Hello, this is Vic in Philadelphia.
This is Rick Dalton from New Alexandria, PA.
Hey, Jim, this is Bill Ballou in Ashland, Oregon.
Hey, Jim, it's Sarah calling from Portland.
Hey there, this is Georgia from Caribbean Free Radio in Trinidad and Tobago, and you are listening to Roar, Republic of Avalon Radio.
Hello there, here is MC from the VDC Sing From Here podcast, podcasting from Montreal. You are right now listening to the Republic of Avalon Radio podcast.
Hi, Jim. This is Carrie Thompson from Columbus, Ohio.
Hi, my name is Debbie Gillespie from Toronto, Canada.
Hello, this is Kevin Doucet from Talladega, Alabama.
Jim Fiddler, this is Kevin Reeves from the Studiography Podcast.
Bonjour, c'est l'Ekbir Halili de Beni Mellal au Maroc. Vous écoutez Republic of Avalon Radio.
I am Liz Annick from France, and you're listening to Republic of Avalon Radio.
Republic of Avalon Radio. You're with the Roar!
All right, we have set out on our journey towards St. Pierre. We are now on the bus, just fixing to head out over the highway, we hope. It's kind of interesting. This bus is very sort of modern. I don't know how you would describe it exactly, but it's not kind of a big sort of a bus thing. It's kind of an overgrown van, like.
Yeah, definitely. It's got nice seats, about 2, 4, 6, 10, 12, 15 people can fit in here around that. Big windows on either side.
And it's like rubber padded thingies in front of us, so if we bump our heads or whatever, it'll be on this rubber stuff.
Good for the protection. And right now we're just driving around town picking people up. And then we'll be going out over the highway.
Yeah. So, yes. And we had the presence of forethought, or I should say I had the presence of forethought, to put us in the back of the bus, which is always nice when you can get it, when it's available.
thinking.
Pardon?
Good thinking.
Thank you. It means, I think it's like a 5-hour bus ride, so I think at some point we're going to want to stretch out a little bit. So that will be very, very nice indeed. So whereabouts are we now?
We're just passing Moffat Avenue.
What's a Moffat Avenue?
We're heading out Topsail Road, which means that we're getting close to the highway, so possibly we just made our last stop, and we're going to get onto the highway now.
Is it a bit of a bumpy road?
It's a bit of a bumpy road.
A little bit of a bumpy road here, as you can all hear. So probably what we'll do is we'll just, at various points along the route, we will check in. And instead of... I don't think you want to take the whole 5-hour bus ride with us. So we'll probably just check in at certain points. Do you think that'd be a good idea?
I think that would be a really good idea, because otherwise you'd be bored to tears.
We'd definitely bore them to tears, yeah. Like we haven't done that in the past.
Yeah, but we're trying to cut back on the boredom.
Okay, we'll get some razzmatazz into this whole thing. Overture.
Turn the lights.
This is it.
The nights.
No more rehearsing and nursing apart.
We know every part by heart. Oh, we're passing a big transport truck.
We're passing a big transport truck? As opposed to one of those little transport trucks. This guy seems to be in a hurry.
I know.
Here, have some all dressed.
He's probably late getting out of town.
He's probably late getting out of town, yes. He was doing a lot of shagging around picking people up, wasn't he?
I know.
Don't know what that's all about. Okay. Hey, bus driver, slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
I just want to test these padded bars in front of us here.
The weirdest thing is that buses, like, it's a law in St. John's and in the Republic of Avalon that you have to wear a seatbelt, and you'll get a fine if you don't. But we noticed that buses do not have seatbelts. What's with that?
I don't get it.
Mesdames et messieurs, bonjour. Le capitaine et son équipage vous souhaitent la bienvenue à bord de l'Atlantic Jet. Afin de garantir votre confort et votre sécurité en raison des normes en vigueur, nous demandons à tous les passagers de s'asseoir durant les manœuvres d'entrée et de sortie de bord. Nous vous demandons également de placer vos bagages en main aux endroits désignés par l'équipage. Nous rappelons également que la traversée est d'environ 1 heure et nous vous invitons à prendre connaissance des consignes de sécurité. Merci et bonne traversée.
Well, I said 55 minutes, but apparently it's 1 hour.
One of the crew members just walked by and waved to us. I think we know him.
Okay.
Okay, the safety instructions are just coming up on the screen.
Okay.
Bienvenue à bord de l'Atlantic Jet. Nous naviguons dans une zone réputée difficile.
I'll translate.
L'Atlantic Jet est donc équipé de moyens de navigation.
Atlantic Jet is a rusted-out barge. If anything goes wrong, you're screwed. We have a special policy here. If something goes wrong, jump overboard. There was a guy demonstrating on the screen. He's running.
Elle est constituée d'un col, d'une sangle au niveau de la ceinture et d'une attache au niveau du cou. Pour la serrer, placez d'abord la tête dans l'orifice.
If something goes wrong, put your head between your knees and kiss your bum goodbye. There's a buckle and it won't do you any good. Just jump over top of people and push your way through, especially old ladies and crippled people. The water's cold, but after about 2 to 3 minutes you won't feel it anyway.
En cas d'obligation d'abandon du navire, un signal constitué de 7 sons brefs et de 1 son long sera déclenché par le capitaine.
And there's lots of sharks in the water, so you won't have to worry about it.
Qui vous seront désignés par l'équipage. Des flèches vous indiquent leur direction.
They'll have your flesh devoured within 60 seconds.
Chaque côté du bar. Vous devrez alors vous débarrasser de chaussures à talons, des objets qui pourraient endommager le radeau et ne pas vous encombrer de bagages inutiles.
If you're not embarrassed, you'll perish more quickly if you take off your clothing before you jump in the water.
Doivent les attacher. Le capitaine et l'équipage de l'Atlantic Jet vous remercient de votre attention et vous souhaitent une bonne traversée.
Okay, the last bit I didn't hear. Lillian interrupted me. It was probably vital information.
About the seatbelts. She put on a seatbelt, but these seats do not have seatbelts.
She's only a record. She's like a hologram anyway. What does she know?
Now they're going to do it in English.
Oh, hang on.
We sail in an area reputed to be difficult. The Atlantic jet is therefore equipped with high-level means of navigation. You must therefore know how to put on a life jacket. The jacket is...
Okay, this is the fashion segment.
Very fashionable. She's wearing a two-piece blue blazer and pants with a white drop neck shirt.
The jacket is made up of a collar, a strap at the waist level, and an attachment at the level.
She's describing the jacket, so that sounds like a lovely piece of apparel.
The life jacket is a bright orange with a wide blue belt.
I don't like it when people. I don't like sentences that begin with "Please place your head." Oh, blue ribbons! Woo!
Fashionable blue ribbons.
We get a whistle. Cool. You have a few tunes in that.
I can see you out there now directing the whistle choir.
I wonder, is it a generation or a Sasado or what is it?
No. It has a little like a luminous flashing light as well, in case we, have to go out in the dark.
On the whistle?
No, it's another thing on the life jacket.
Sounds pretty snazzy.
Very fashionable. And the shoes are very stylish, I must say.
You'd be like the hit at the dance club, I bet.
I bet. That would be a wicked Halloween costume, actually. Go out in your life jacket with your luminous flashing light and your whistle.
How come Linus had a blanket? He could have had a security belt.
We're going out through the little narrows here.
I think the fashion show is over.
It is. It was very illuminating.
I'm too sexy for my life jacket. We are on the boat. We are just pulling away from the dock. And it's still a beautiful day. The sun is shining. The weather is sweet. What are you doing? Yeah, and we're just pulling out from the dock and heading out into the port, or into the harbor, as we would say. Harbor with an OU, please. It's not harbor. And of course you can hear the engine of the boat, and you can hear me quite well, I think, along with the engine, because I have my headphones on and I'm monitoring what I'm doing, so that hopefully we'll have some sort of usable bit of audio so that you guys can hear what we're up to. So now imagine you are on a boat in a harbor on a beautiful sunny day, and the water is, I guess the water is very blue.
What?
The water is very blue.
Yeah, it's very blue.
Very, very blue water, and it's just a little breeze. I think it's less wind now than earlier today.
Oh yeah, it is. There's no wind out here at all.
No, because it's coming evening time now, so as it gets into the evening, the wind dies down. Yeah, I can feel a little bit of the breeze as we move out into the open of the harbour. And all is well so far. It's only a short run. It's about a 10-minute run, I think. Basically, we just go out the harbour, just out into the open ocean, and then we come to Île aux Marins, or Sailor's Island in English.
Are all dancing in a circle, a traditional Basque dance.
Okay, now we've got the bow right into the waves, so we're cutting through the waves in hot pursuit of the fin whales. Dolphins?
Yeah, dolphins.
You sure they're dolphins?
Yeah.
Really?
Apparently they like to swim behind the boat.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh my god, oh my god.
What?
They're all over. Like there's a few of them over on the, I don't know what side that is.
Talking to the mic here now.
Let's go over to the other side.
Okay, we're going to head over now to the starboard side. Okay.
See their fins, there's a bunch of them. Are they dolphins over here?
Dolphins and fin whales.
Dolphins and fin whales we have just off the...
on the other side now.
Now they're on the other side. Make up your minds!
Wow.
Return the boat.
God, they're beautiful.
Yeah, they'll swim in the wake of the boat.
Like a school of them.
They love swimming in the force of the water coming back on them.
It's like having a jacuzzi.
Yeah, they'll swim in the wake of the boat.
Wow.
Okay. So what
they're beautiful. They're beautiful.
Fin whale is right here.
And a big...
Fin whale's about 50 feet off the side of the boat.
There's big schools of dolphins.
Big schools of dolphins everywhere.
Oh
everywhere.
My God,
look.
they're everywhere.
They're just feeding everywhere. There's probably we're probably looking at about 150 dolphins here right now with 4 or 5 fin whales.
I've never seen dolphins. Oh, look, and a big whale, too. Right in the center of all the dolphins is a big whale, big fin whale.
Okay.
I've never, ever seen dolphins like this in Newfoundland when we've been out like this. Just amazing.
Wow.
They're kind of jumping. The dolphins are very small, and they come up and they kind of do a jump up on top of the water and go back down.
Uh-huh. Whereabouts are they now?
About the size of me, probably.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just wee things.
Yeah. They're so cute. And they got big fins on them, and they're like right across from us here. There's about a dozen, and they're all hopping up in a row. Like, they're so amazing. And they're black on the top and white on the bottom.
Wow. The Michael Jackson fish.
That's funny. They're so close, though. You could almost reach out and touch them.
I had, or still have actually, let's go back in time though. We're going back to about, gee whiz, what would this have been? What year would it have been? 1991, I guess. I guess it would be 1991. And this would be sometime around probably, I don't know, May, June 1991, I think. Anyway, my group at the time, Pressure Drop, just put out a cassette at the time. It wasn't even a CD. It was a cassette. It was later released on CD, sorry. Anyway, I'm unaware at the time that I have a brother in Ontario. I had this brother that I didn't know existed. And so him and his fiance, he would, they'd lie awake at night, and, when you're young and in love, and you're kind of like talking about your dreams for the future and stories about when you were growing up, and, little things, all your sort of hopes, dreams, aspirations, and all that stuff. And one thing that he would constantly talk about is, he loves his adopted parents, and that's his family, and there's no question about that. But there was always this deep curiosity in his mind about, I guess, his blood kin. And so they tried everything. She agreed to help him out and hopefully find some family. And they went through all the regular channels and to the agency and did everything, and they just hit a brick wall, basically. They couldn't find anybody. It was hopeless. They couldn't find anybody. And all they knew was the name Fiddler and Newfoundland. And then certain things like that our mom had so many brothers and sisters, and what color their eyes were, and things like that. Nothing that would ever help him ever find any of us. And at the time, I was living with my grandmother up in Rabbittown, and I didn't have any phone number in the book. I didn't own any property. I didn't, and I didn't have any even birth statistic or anything. So I was completely untraceable. So they gave up the search, and one night when he was at work at like the GM factory in Oshawa, I think, she's at home by herself, and she figures she'll go right out on a limb and do something really crazy. She figures she'll phone directory assistance in St. John's, Newfoundland, and get the number for like government records, properties and deeds and whatever records, government records. That's what she was thinking, government records, okay? So she calls directory assistance, asks for the number for government records, and she's given a phone number. So, I think it's 753-9340. Is that it?
Yeah, I think it is.
Okay. Anyway, she calls the number, and the guy on the other end picks up and says, "Hello, Fred's Records." And she says, "Pardon?" He says, "Fred's Records." She goes, "What is this? What have I reached?" And he says, "Oh, it's a record store. We sell CDs and vinyl and cassettes and so on." And she says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I got the wrong number. I was looking. I'm trying to find somebody, and I thought it was government records. Sorry to bother you." As it turned out, this usually thriving, busy record shop was empty. So the guy, oh my gosh, the guy who was working at the counter at the store says, "Oh, well, that's all right. There's nothing going on here. Who are you looking for? You never know." And she says, "Well, I'm looking for someone named Fiddler." And he says, "Well, yeah, I know a guy named Fiddler, Jim Fiddler. He was just in here about 15 minutes ago signing a distribution deal upstairs with Duckworth Distribution. He's a drummer." And when she heard that, literally, she dropped the phone because my brother Scott is a drummer. So, he went over and got our cassette out of the bin, got a phone number off the back, and gave it to her, who she's now my sister-in-law. Gave her this number. She ended up calling George Morgan, and George called me up and said, there's this Mrs. in Ontario called Lee looking for you." I said, "Really? And I thought to myself, well, that's interesting, because we had just put out the album, and of course it wasn't long after that we started touring and going to Toronto and various places in Canada and appearing live on Much Music when we were in town a few times. So I thought, it just to me sounded, Lee from Toronto sounded Lee, just the name to me sounded like some kind of a TV person or a booking agent or something like that. So he said, "Is it okay for me to give her your number?" And I said, "Sure, okay." So anyway, he passed on the number. I was down in the basement, the phone rang. I picked up the phone, and "This is Lee." And she's saying, "This is a very weird phone call," she said. "This is a very, very strange phone call. I'm going to ask you a few questions. I just want, bear with me." And so she starts asking me things like, how many brothers and sisters does your mom have? And what year was your mother born? And just all these crazy questions. And I'm just like, okay, I'm fine. I'm just answering the questions. And after a while, she hits a point. And then she just tells me, like, I'm engaged to your brother. I'm like, my brother? What are you talking about? My brothers at the time, this was like 1992 or 1991. So good Lord, that was, oh my God, where does the time go? That was 14 years ago. Over 14 years ago. So, I mean, my brother Phil, who's now 30, he was like, what, 16? And Andrew, who's now 22 or something, he was, how old was he? He was microscopic. So, and we had a chat, and eventually we ended up meeting. Oddly enough, through that pressure drop group, we ended up in Toronto, and we went and met my brother and Lee, and yeah.
The rest is history.
The rest is history. So the funny thing is, because there was no record of me whatsoever, if that directory assistance person had not mistakenly given Lee the number to the record store where I had been 15 minutes previous, I could say with pretty much full confidence, they never would have found me. And I, to this day, would never know that I have a brother called Scott, who lives in Oshawa, Ontario. And he's a great guy. I'm glad to have him as a brother. Unfortunately, we're not really in touch. He's got a family and he's busy working. And I suppose it was possibly just something that he had to settle in his own mind. He just wanted to get that done. And so there it's done. So maybe at some point in the future, we'll get a chance to hang out some more, meet each other again. And well, anyway, there's my story. I mean, to me, that's like an Oprah story. That's the kind of story like you hear on one of those talk shows, one of those shows where it's just unbelievable, you know, or Deanie Petty or something in Canada. Hi.
Yeah, especially when it brings people together.
Yeah. But I mean, what are the odds? She's going to call directory assistance and ask for government records and be given the number for a record store. Not just any record store, the record store that I was just in 15 minutes previously.
There's some kind of divine intervention on the go there, I think.
You know, you got to wonder.
Makes you wonder, definitely.
Yeah. So that would be my test story that I would throw out to you guys. That would be okay. So that would be my test story. My sample story that I would send out to you guys. And any stories you have that, like I said, may be funny or they just may be kind of unbelievable or quirky, but they have to be true stories. Send them on in to Republic of Avalon Radio at gmail.com or jimfiddler@gmail.com, and we'll get it on for you. And you had something that you wanted to cover, didn't you?
Yeah, I was just thinking, since we're on the subject of coincidences and stuff, I just had one that's just was one of the kind of most bizarre kind of coincidences in my life, I guess. And that was one time I was driving to Toronto in my dad's pickup truck, and I was going up there to pick up some things that I had left there on my way back to Newfoundland.
Hence the pickup truck?
Hence the pickup truck, yeah.
Okay.
I had, boxes of stuff I left at my brother's place. So I'm driving there by myself, and in this big half-ton pickup, or I don't know, anyway, a big pickup.
Uh-huh.
So, everything's going fine and all that, and I'm going through Quebec, and just, not two-lane highways, lots of traffic, lots of big transport trucks and that sort of thing. I'm passing everybody because I'm not speeding or anything, but I'm going at a good pace. And I start to feel a bit of a shimmy in the wheel.
Angels.
That was cool.
Okay.
So I'm driving along and I feel a little bit, it wasn't anything really noticeable, but something in my mind clicked and said, something's not quite right with the wheel, something in the front. And there's not many like gas stations or service stations or anything, few and far between as I'm going through Quebec. I was going kind of a back way, and there wasn't a lot in this particular area anyway. And so just came into my mind.
Hang on. Oh. What the heck's with that?
That's so cool.
Okay, so you're in Quebec, out in kind of the middle of nowhere in Highwayville.
Yeah, and as soon as I thought about that, I see, like, just very, very close on my right is the gas station. So I made a split decision. I went right into the gas station and just parked the truck. And there wasn't a guy there, like, pumping gas or something. And he didn't speak any English.
Or anything.
Yeah.
Pumping gas? You said there wasn't a guy there pumping gas or something.
Oh. There was.
What else would he be pumping?
He was just like serving people and stuff.
The pumper.
And he didn't speak any English, and I didn't speak French very well. So I was trying to say, like, I'd like to get the truck looked at because I think there's something wrong. And
you were
didn't
saying
understand.
You were saying my la car is la broken.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
So he was busy, and we didn't say much. He just said there's no mechanic on duty or something like that, and.
Only with an outrageous French accent. Okay.
There's no mechanic.
Okay.
So there was a coffee shop there too, like in a restaurant. So I went in there just to sit down and decide what I was going to do. Just think about it. What am I going to do? Am I going to just get back on the road or what?
People are walking by, and we're standing here, like,
let's move over here,
face to face. I'm turned toward her so that she's speaking into, like, both mics. There's some people walking by, and we're like, we've got the look of love.
I'm speaking directly to you.
Yes, we're glaring into each other's eye bobbles. Okay.
So I go into the little cafe, and I'm sitting down. I ordered a cup of coffee, and I'm sitting there, and just, okay, what am I going to do? And then all of a sudden I hear, Lillian! And this girl comes running over to me. And it was somebody that I went to high school with and I hadn't seen since then. And
how many years after high school was this?
That was probably 8 or 9 years after high school.
Okay, that's a good stretch of time.
And I didn't know her all that well, really, either. She was just a very, like, kind of outgoing person, and she knew everybody, and we didn't know each other as
very
really
outgoing.
Friends,
in fact, she went out. She went out so far she ended up in Quebec.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, she came over and sat down, and she said, "How are you doing? Blah blah. Nice to see you." And then she brought over her boyfriend, and they asked me why I was at.
Does he fit into the story?
He does, actually.
The boyfriend is necessary?
Yes, he's very necessary.
Hold on. Okay. All right. So the boyfriend. Now we've got him into the story.
So he comes over and she asks.
The what do you call the cast is growing.
Yes. Anyway, I think he might have been from Quebec.
Okay.
But I said to her after a while of talking and stuff, I said, I came in here because I think there might be something wrong with the truck. And she said, "Oh, Dan here, or whatever his name is, he's a mechanic. Do you want him to have a quick look at it?" So I said, "Sure." So we all went outside, and he got in the truck, and he drove it the length of the parking lot. And as he did that, the wheel came off the truck.
Wow. Wow.
And of course, he knew right away what it was. He took looked at the parts inside and stuff, and it was the rotor.
And was it a front wheel?
Yeah, it was the right front wheel.
So if you had been screaming down the highway doing 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, I was passing transport trucks. Too, I remember that. So it's kind of crazy.
And that would have came off. You would have gone completely out of control. You wouldn't have been able to steer.
Yeah.
I think if your rear tire went, you at least would have been able to somehow. Yeah. Even if the rear tire came off, you would have been in a pretty bad way.
Oh yeah, I know.
That could have been a life-threatening accident.
Oh, for sure. And that's one of those times, sometimes something tells you to do something, and sometimes you do it, and sometimes you don't. Well, this time
always follow
did.
your gut. That's one that you learned on multiple choice tests, and then lots of things in life bear out. You should always follow your gut. We're going to carry on now. So that was the follow your gut story.
For those people to be in that place at that time, because if they weren't there, I would have just gotten in and gone on anyway.
And what was this person's name? This girl?
I can see her face, but I can't remember her name.
I can see her face.
Maybe if she does ever hear this story.
High school girl, if you hear this story about meeting Lillian in Quebec and saving her life.
Actually, this could true.
Yeah.
This is Larry Scootcon from Blind Cool Tech Podcast, and you're listening to The Roar, Republic of Avalon Radio.
Hi, Jeremy. It's Liam Flynn here from UK.
Hi, this is Sean Fulford from Torbay, Newfoundland, and you're listening to Republic of Avalon Radio. You're with The Roar.
I'm Tara Dove, and you're listening to the Republic of Avalon Radio.
Yay! Republic of Avalon Radio. You're with The Roar!
The seagulls have gone mad. I mean, a great big cloud of them just came in, and then there was already a bunch there in their usual spot under the spotlights there as we're walking down in the container yard.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden,
They engaged?
They were just, like, it's just madness.
They engaged each other in battle?
I guess so. But they didn't look like they were fighting really, but they're kind of settling back down again now. Maybe it was like the guys coming home, for the evening or something.
Hey, George, how you doing? Hey, what's it looking like out there?
I don't know, Marvin. It's kind of cold out there.
Yeah, I'm glad to be home. There's another flock.
Holy flock. Seagulls. Hey, there's a band in that somewhere. Maybe we could name a band. Flock of Seagulls.
Flock of Seagulls, yeah.
It's an odd name for a band when you think about it.
Yeah. There's some kind of pattern going on here, I think, that we're not aware of.
Maybe they're sending messages.
Okay, we can go.
You think?
Whoops.
Maybe they're mercenary seagulls. Somebody couldn't afford to get the plane to write the message in the sky, so they train these seagulls, and they're advertising for an oil company or someone, a blue jeans manufacturer or something, or a soft drink.
No, I don't think so.
No?
No.
Oh.
Good guess, though.
A guy can have an imagination, can't he?
He can.
Imagination that. I sort of had this propensity toward being a bit of a Weisenheimer when I was a whippersnapper. Hey, wow. I was two four-syllable things at the same time without even really trying or knowing about it. I was a whippersnapper Weisenheimer. He's a whippersnapper Weisenheimer.
Didn't somebody call you that one time, a Weisenheimer?
Oh, yeah.
When you were picking or you're robbing apples or something?
Yeah, me and some of the kids it wasn't a neighborhood. We lived in the country, so there was no such thing as a neighborhood. Neighborhood was a city thing. Neighborhoods are man-made. If you live in the country. If you live in a country, you don't have no neighborhood. You just live in a country. And so anyway, living in a rural area, which was big fields on every side of our house, and let's see, the ocean, or Conception Bay actually, just at the bottom of the field, adjacent to our basic shack we used to live in. It was a very small kind of a cabin or cottage, summer kind of cottage that a lawyer and his family had built, and we bought it and moved into it and turned it into a family home after a fashion. And so anyway, living out in the country, and I just knew every blade of grass, I suppose, for about a 2 or 3 mile radius at least, in that area, intimately, I'd say. And on my bicycle, I used to travel further afield, unbeknownst to my parents.
Oh, quickly.
We've got to quickly. Oh, that wasn't too bad. All right. So yeah, I sort of knew the area. So I used to spend my days just kind of as a bit of a loner, really. Never kind of ran with the pack or anything, even in high school. And I would just set out on my bike and take my radio with me. And I'd just spend my days just basically going all over the countryside, up to the hills, up to the talc mines, and up the shore, down the shore, and I would, whenever I felt like it, just kind of kick off my sneakers and give up the race. No. Sorry, Ron. But I was wearing sneakers. Kick off my sneakers and just jump into a pond or a lake or a river or a stream and have a swim and catch little fish in my hands, little fishies. Is there a point to this?
You were part wolf.
Yes, part. Jer's brother, part. Jer Wolf's brother, part wolf.
He was raised by a gang of coyotes.
I think I was raised by a gang of humans. Somehow they caught me after
a gaggle of humans.
Yes, they caught me after our ship crashed, and I was leading up to. Oh yes. So I knew every stick and stone, every dimple in every field, and every little trick. If we were like chasing after each other on bicycles, I knew every little place where I could turn this maneuver, and the guy coming behind me would be history. He'd spill every time, because I knew that I could whip that corner and then take a quick left and then a quick right, and poof, I was going down the path. But this person probably wouldn't know that as well. Now, I can't say everybody was as inexperienced. Some of the boys I'd look around expecting to see him kind of on his face on the path, and he'd be hot on my heels. Sometimes, to my detriment, I would get a little bit too cocky sometimes and go, there goes another one. And next thing I'd feel a hand on the back of my shirt or something. But, yeah, in any case, one day, some of the more ornery members of the community in the young set. Well, I was probably the youngest in the gang, I'd say. I was, at the time, maybe 6. And the other little basti nastards were probably, real old, like 8 or 9 or something like that. Real old skippers.
Yeah.
And
Dusty friggers.
So they decided they were just going to get up to no good and steal some crab apples. So these dastardly gangster 8-9-year-olds whom I was hanging around with, because I always seemed to gravitate toward the kids that were a couple of years older. I don't know, simply because they didn't seem to be quite as silly as most of the people my own age. So, and they knew about things. They knew little tricks and stuff. Bicycle tricks and ways to tie rope and into knots and just all kinds of clever things that I thought was pretty cool at the time. I was a real little freckle-faced kind of Huck Finn kind of character when I was a kid. Except then you throw on the Woody Allen glasses and and that was pretty much me.
Yeah, we have a picture to prove it, actually.
Yeah, maybe we can put it up on the website.
Yeah, it's in. We used it in one of the CD booklets, Friendly Fire, as well.
Oh yeah.
And he looks like a little rascal, could be a little Woody Allen, actually. You can imagine what he would look like when he was a kid.
So we went in, back to the Weisenheimer story. So we're in, and I figure, what are we doing, in my mind? We're in God's open country. That's what I figured. Where I live and quite often several days feed myself from the bounty of the land. And to be honest, I was kind of coming over all peckish-like. I was a little bit on the hungry side. And I had the impression that my partners in a crime, as it turned out, but my partners in fun and summer frolics and just being relaxed and chilling out, I figured they were probably a bit peckish too. So we jumped the fence. Friggin' fences, what are they for? Jeez, they just get in your way. So we jump over the fence, and we're at various stages. Some quote unquote picking the low hanging fruit, and some picking the higher. I think I was one of the ones picking the higher because I was a little skinny, wiry guy. And so I think I was up the tree. And it wasn't just because of that, but when your man shows up on the doorstep, this kind of wrinkly-faced guy in a lemon-coloured short-sleeved shirt with a pointy collar and kind of grey hair, and he didn't look like a nice guy at all, you know? So he comes out on his doorstep and bah, bah, bah. So all the kids, for some odd reason, unbeknownst to me, just all hightail it and run. Half of them just leaving their bikes laying on the ground. That's how much of a panic they were in. And I just kind of climbed calmly down from my tree, or from his tree as it turned out. Figured it was mine. And so he said, "What do you think you're doing?" And I just thought for a second, what do I think I'm doing? Well, gee whiz, I'm just picking some apples. And he says to me, "What are you, some kind of a Weisenheimer?" And I figured, that sounded kind of, it had the word wise in it. And I figured, I just looked at him, I said, "Yeah, it could be." And that sort of, I could tell he wasn't impressed. But what was he going to do with me?
Yeah.
I wasn't even making an attempt at running away. It's like dogs, you know, if you get scared of a dog and you start acting all agitated and try to run away or whatever, then you basically what you're doing is you're saying, "Come and get me and bite me on the arse," or something. But otherwise, the best thing for you to do is just stand there and just look at him.
Yeah, what's he going to do?
Recite the Gettysburg Address in Swahili. Most dogs are quite...
Weisenheimer then, all right.
Yeah. Okay, folks, this is the joke. This is a little piece that I call The March of the One-Legged Army. And it goes like this. Left, 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 left. That's it. You can laugh now.
That's a good one.
Not bad for locals. All right, and what was the other one? Well, that probably covers it. Wait, let me think.
I can just make a big, Chewbacca noise.
Yes, do it.
What's that? That's a Chewbacca noise? Anyone can do that. It sounds more like a kind of an autistic noise to me.
Maybe Chewbacca was autistic.
I have a story to share that felt like it should have a topic all its own. I received a copy of Midnight Rover last weekend from a good friend. Thank you, and fell in love with it right away. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a Montessori teacher. I have a class of 3 to 5-year-olds. I took my new CD to school with me the next morning. I had it on as the children were arriving. They danced. One asked, "Miss Helen, is this more Newfoundland music?" "Why, yes." "Miss Helen, this isn't Alan, is it?" "Well, no. His name is Jim Fiddler," I told them. They got out their percussion instruments and enjoyed moving and making music along with the CD. As we begin our work time each day, we start by making collective silence. For months, we've listened to Deep Peace from my Celtic Twilight CD for silence. Last week, I told them I had a new and very beautiful piece of music. I told them it was written about a 3-year-old little girl. I lit the candle, they crossed their legs, put their hands on their knees, closed their eyes, and took a deep breath. I Still Remember played. They made very beautiful, very deep, still silence that day. The best I've ever seen. When it was over, no one spoke. They sat there smiling and staring at the light of the candle. They are usually beginning to squirm. That day they sat, they breathed deeply, very relaxed. One little 4-year-old girl spoke up in a whisper. "That was beautiful music. I could see her, Miss Helen. She was playing outside." Chills. I wanted to cry and laugh and hug her all at once. We have listened to it ever since at silence every morning. I have played John O'Dreams, Fields of Gold, Lillian, Waterford River, I Remember, and other instrumentals for their nap time music. Since I have received this CD, it has become the soundtrack of my classroom. Thanks for such a lovely gift and for such beautiful music. Helen.
Well, hello everybody. This is your old friend, Eddie Mailbag. We hope you've enjoyed this special retrospective episode of The Roar. We'd love to hear from you. So, send us your feedback. Send us email at republicofavalonradio@gmail.com. Or you can call us on the Roar line. The number is country code 1, area code 724-426-8176. That's 1-724-426-8176. Please go to our website at www.republicofavalonradio.com. Put your pin into our flapper map, and please be sure to vote for us at Podcast Alley. You can also find the link where you can vote for The Roar on the Roar website. Well, that's about it for this week. Thank you for staying subscribed and spreading the word about The Roar. To finish up, here's a special dedication going out to Anne in Philadelphia from her best friend and biggest fan in the whole wide world. Here's Jackie Sullivan with music by our very own Jim Fiddler. The song is Oceans Wide, and it goes out to Anne from Vic, the guy we all like to refer to as Santa. On behalf of Jim and Lillian, this is Eddie Mailbag saying so long for now, and we'll see you next time right here on Republic of Avalon Radio.
Some days the nights are long, some days we are so strong. We find a way to make it through each day, never fall asleep without a chance to say you safe from harm. You'll find your way back to my arms safely. Over oceans wide, I am always beside you. We will be alright. Love will survive over oceans wide. I will never be untrue. I'll always be waiting for you to come back home, to come back home to me. Over oceans wide, I am always beside you. We will be alright. Love will survive over oceans wide. Over oceans wide. Over oceans wide.
You know, I got a hunch this partnership's going to turn out okay.
I was just thinking the same thing. We'll just forget the past. Think only of the future.
Right. A bright future, sweetheart. For the two of us.
A Root Cellar production.